The theme of this conference is stepping up and standing out, and that came about because of the slowness of change and the need for every single person that's in a fire agency to take some action, to actually step up, which means sometimes being outside of the norm paradigm of fire service culture and risking standing out, but so that you actually can push the change motion quicker. If I think about when or how I've actually done that, because it's pretty important for all of us as board members, as leaders in our organisations, to not just be telling people that they need to step up and stand out, that we need to be doing it in our own careers. It is probably doing exactly this, is being part of a Women Firefighting Association and learning how to take my passions and my interests to lobby and influence change in my organisation, to be able to network with other people that are also trying to do the same thing in their organisation, and putting together presentations, taking opportunities, be it just the one conversation at a time, or presenting to groups such as conferences with ideas, getting to the Australasian Fire Authorities Council, the governing body of our industry, getting to their conferences and workshops and having those conversations, getting up in front of those other influencers and change makers and sharing the information that I have learnt from research or from what gets discussed at station level or in the Women's Association. So I am stepping up into accepting responsibility that I am in that position, that I am a female fire officer now, and that I have a responsibility to contribute to that change process and use my position and my influence to try to help speed up the change process. I certainly think I spent the first probably 8 years of my career just fitting in and not bringing any of my individuality. Not any, brought some, of course, but I was really fortunate in the stations that I was at also, where it was actually okay to bring some of myself to work. But you're pretty focused on not being too far outside of the majority paradigm. So in time, but then what I realised as I moved, I guess, into positions with more seniority and more influence, and then with more rank, I recognised how I had been in a lot of situations and learnt the importance of having other people be aware of those situations or actually speaking up at the time. And that to speak up doesn't mean that you're challenging someone's rank or position or authority, but I guess you learn how to have difficult conversations or to be more tactful so that it makes it okay to have those conversations. Other examples of stepping up are just taking the opportunity to take your ideas, such as, say, presenting at AFAC last year, recognising where there is opportunities for influence. So the last really 4 years, this has been my strategy to try to help bring rhetoric into reality in this country and certainly in my own fire service. And I have a really supportive champion of change commissioner in Greg Mullins. So I haven't had to step up and stand out too much because I've already had that relationship where I know that my leader is really wanting to effect change. So, but I have really spent the last 4 years thinking about where there are opportunities to get on this message, to educate our internal environment as to why we need to be looking more like the community, why we need to maybe shift our culture and be doing more prevention. And so I guess those are examples of doing it, submitting abstracts to conferences, having those conversations in the workplace when I moved up to a more regional area in New South Wales where there are not any other female officers. So just being that person and wearing it in your entirety is kind of just part of it as well, so that you're not I have spent time sort of shrinking away and just blending, and so now I actually quite like to walk into a room and feel really good about, hey, like, yeah, women are here in regional New South Wales. How awesome.